Hey, what's up guys, it's here and welcome back my glorious bannerman to some Total War Warhammer footage. So, I was lucky enough to be invited to a CA event which went ahead and allowed me to actually record some gameplay for Total War Warhammer. So this is actually unique gameplay that I actually went ahead and recorded, which was really awesome. It was amazing that I managed to go ahead and do this. Obviously keep in mind that this is a pretty old build of the game, so stuff you might see in this might not actually translate into the actual game later on down the line. Obviously they're changing stuff, they're fixing bugs, so obviously just keep in mind that this is a work in progress. But yes, today we're going to be looking at the Battle of KARAK. So I was playing as Manfred and I managed to lead this zombie horde to KARAK and just set siege to it. And obviously you can see this is covered in, well, this is actually in the mountains, which is really awesome. Obviously an underground fortress, and there's Manfred himself looking very epic. And some more skeleton warriors there, some skeleton swords. So yeah, the interesting thing about this battle is that the dwarfs don't actually hold KARAK at the moment. So this is currently a Goblin-occupied city, or an Orc-occupied city from a dwarven province. So you'll actually see the differences in the architecture, as when I'm sure in a second when I zoom in more onto the walls, you actually see that it's kind of been defaced by the orcs, which is really awesome. That the architecture actually changes if the orcs take it, you know, they kind of get their own spin on it, and it's actually aesthetically shown in the battle. So I have a pretty naughty army here. I've got a bunch of swords, a bunch of zombies. I've got the really big bat thing. I can't remember what it's called for the life of me. I'm recording this pretty late, so please bear with me there. Yeah, so I have that massive bat thing, which is really awesome. I think the lore behind that is like a vampire who's been locked away for like 1,000 years, and he's kind of had his entire life soul just kind of brought out of him, and then he turns into that, which is a pretty badass backstory, that's for sure. Also, I'm going to be uploading 1 or 2 more videos aside from this. I've got another battle at Zhufbar, which is another dwarven hold, but the dwarfs actually hold it this time. So you can kind of compare, if you watch this and then you go ahead and compare the dwarven city to Zhufbar, which is actually a bit bigger than KARAK, funnily enough, and you can kind of compare the two just to kind of see what they look like. These Voltergeist, I think they're called. I could be absolutely butchering that and just completely mentioning the wrong thing, but these bad boys are absolutely awesome. I get a really nice aerial like dive on some orcs on the wall, and they just absolutely go flying. It is so epic. It really is. Obviously I have Manfred there. I don't really have too much magic with Manfred because at the build I was playing, I think he was only level 4 or 5 at this point, so he only has a few things. He has Raised Dead, which is cool, and he also has Leech Life or something like that, so he can actually go ahead and restore some hit points to a friendly unit, which is pretty cool. I've got my siege towers moving up, which is awesome. And the really interesting thing, so yeah, actually, you can go and see, look at all the dwarven towers, which have actually had like orc upgrades to them. The orcs have kind of, you know, invaded this fortress, taken it, and have actually gone ahead and kind of given their own aesthetic kind of look to it. So the orcs are actually looking the wrong way at the moment, but it doesn't really matter too much. Obviously, as I said, this is a work in progress, so a lot of things you may be seeing now will definitely be fixed in the later game. Like even just the walls have graffiti on. They have orc faces on, which is just really nice. Again, to see, you can see even the crossroads here as well. You know, feeling very orcish. Massive like thing there, you know, some actual orc like ladders and stuff. It's really cool. Completely just changes it. So I feel like when I'm taking back a city like this, if I ever lose one to the orcs, you know, it will definitely feel really awesome. Even the gate looks really cool. So I'm moving up my bat thing at the moment to go ahead and smash down this gate, advancing him to go ahead and hopefully hit that down. And hopefully he can go ahead and cause some devastation to the enemy ranks. I'm going to go ahead and move up my skeletons as well, to go ahead and advance that front line. Because these battles, unfortunately, were only against the garrison forces, because I didn't really have much time to go ahead and wait around for these provinces to kind of fill up with men. So unfortunately, these are only against like the kind of the basic garrisons kind of early in the game. But I was told that the more you go ahead and play like him, later the game gets, and the bigger the cities kind of upgrade to, the bigger the garrisons actually are, and they do end up being pretty meaty. So that's pretty awesome to go ahead and hear that. So this was one of the bugs I actually encountered, and they said they have actually got this like working properly now. But basically, when the enemy open the gates, you can see they've got a unit there. Once they open the gate, it kind of means that it's a bit harder to smash it down with that creature. Apparently, it works fine with a battering ram. It kind of sorts itself out. But they had a few issues there, but they were telling me how it's fixed now, which is cool. My zombies pushing out the siege tower against some orcs on the wall, trying their best to break through, but I don't think they're going to do a good job of that. You know, these aren't bad orcs, these are actually half decent infantry units, so they're going to be doing good. But I'm just moving up the rest of my army now to go ahead and get up on the wall and cause some issues. Just going to overwhelm the orc defense because I definitely have the numbers here. And this is another really interesting feature they've added in Total War Warhammer. So basically any unit can kind of climb the walls. They like kind of automatically are equipped with ladders to go ahead and climb the walls, which is really interesting because we haven't really had that since like Shogun 2. So this is going to hopefully create a very more like a much more dynamic battle, because if you're kind of using your siege towers to push them up on a wall and you're kind of pinned down, you can almost flank, you know, with a spare unit and just get them to climb up these ladders, which every unit kind of carries. But I was told that there's a massive debuff for your units if you're using this. So if a defender can kind of catch you doing this and you know, kind of meet you at the top of these ladders, you're not going to be doing too well. It's going to be a very big struggle for my unit. So you can see my unit's actually been caught here. They're currently receiving a pretty big debuff of going up there. So it's going to be much harder for them to do it. But again, you know, if you just go ahead and use this all along the wall, and the defender might be a bit too stretched to do that, it's going to be a really good way to kind of get more men on the wall and outflank the enemy. You know, it's going to really help you out in certain situations. So at the moment, my skeleton warriors are just using their numbers to overwhelm them. It also allows you not to have to wait around for so long. Okay, this is awesome. Okay, just watch this, guys. You guys better be ready for some awesome bat action. They're coming in now. These orcs don't know what's about to hit them because it gets absolutely crazy. They're coming in. Oh, just look at them in the distance. The orcs are going to be sorry they ever took this dwarven hold. Oh, look at them just coming in. Here we go. Oh my god, look at them just going flying. That's devastation. So, oh my god, look at it. It is just not stopping. They're just wrecking them, throwing them off the walls, just pounding them. Look at the orcs down there as well, just getting flung off the walls. Yeah, them orcs did not stand a chance. You can see them orcs down there. I think I go follow them. They're just like, nope, I've had enough. I don't want to be in this anymore. I do not want to get caught down. And look at all the architecture on the inner of the city as well. That's really, really cool. So these bats were just absolute beasts in battle. I think I had 2 units of them there, so that's why they did that much damage, just because it was 2 against 1, and these units are kind of pretty elite. Again, they're just going to come down and wreck these archers. Really causing so much damage. My skeletons are starting to come now, which is cool. You know, I'm pretty much winning on the wall fairly effectively. As I said, I'm against a pretty small garrison. I think the battle was like 90-10 in my favor, so I was gonna win, but it kind of wasn't about having a close battle. It was more about just showing off some of the cool looking units, showing off some flying units, kind of showing off sieges as well, because as you can tell, the siege battle is a lot smaller. You know, there's kind of like one wall, and kind of you can fight all along that wall. It's kind of cool that it does that now. I prefer a lot less flashpoints in a battle, because it kind of means that the defender has a better job at kind of just focusing his forces, and the attackers as well, because you never really used all the actual ground in a proper historical siege, really. So I'm bringing in this bad boy now. It's going to go to town and absolutely wreck some fools. Look at it. It's going in ready to kill some orcs. Oh, it's just going to eat one. It's not even going to eat one. It's going to bash it on the ground and just throw away like 6-7 more orcs. Oh my god. Absolute monster. Literally an absolute monster. Gonna go ahead and get my flying creatures in and just pretty much finish off this battle. Just, oh my god, look at them. Just devastation. I'm going to go ahead and raise Deb with Manfred as well now. So this is one of Manfred's abilities. I don't really use Manfred too much in this, which is unfortunate, or magic in this, because it kind of there isn't really a great chance to it. But you can see Manfred is just raising the zombies up in a siege, and this can be really effective if you're kind of fighting at the gate. You can go ahead and actually go ahead and raise dead behind the enemies, like kind of defending at the choke point in the gate. So yes, that was the siege of KARAK, and just got a badass Manfred just walking away. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Make sure to go ahead and look at the other battle I'm going to go ahead and upload, the Battle of Zhufbar. Oh my god, Manfred's just like, get out of here! So yeah, as I said, I also have another battle at Zhufbar, which is kind of a little bit of a longer city, which is cool. And it was obviously a decisive victory, which was awesome. So yeah, make sure to go ahead and check out the other battle I'm going to upload on my channel. I'm sure the link to that will be in the description down below. And let me know what you think of sieges, because I didn't really get to show you everything as in depth as I would like to, obviously, because it was a much kind of smaller, like I was only allowed a certain amount of time to actually record. So I only actually went ahead and got that battle, and obviously another battle a little bit longer on. So yeah, as I said, the other battle is Dwarven architecture. The Orcs have not been taken the city, so it actually looks dwarven, and you go ahead and see it was a decisive victory. I go ahead and raise the dead, which was a cool vampire ability. It kind of brings units back if they've lost all their men. Some loot gain to go ahead and give me some more money. Manfred goes ahead and levels up, which is awesome. And I think I go ahead and get the decision to raise this city or just sack it. Oh, so awesome. You can see I just rip off all the Orcish architecture and just raise the city to the very abyss. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this little glimpse of this. Make sure to obviously go check out my other video and let me know what you think of Warhammer so far, and I'll see you guys next time, and fish out.